One of my favorite things are houseplant tours, and my good friend Cass has an incredible collection of plants. I mean, I can't even express the words of how amazing it is. And I actually went out last year and filmed a houseplant tour, but since then, she has expanded out her collection to 2 outdoor greenhouses, as well as many plants inside her home. So when she let me know that that was the case and asked if I'd be interested in filming, I said, absolutely, you tell me the time and place, I will be there. So I'm really excited to share this with all of you. Now, Cass is an incredible person. You know this if you watched the first video. She's an Army veteran, she's a breast cancer survivor, she's so full of wisdom about plants, and she's just such a great person. Cass is definitely an expert when it comes to houseplant care, and she does mention some products that she uses, so I will be linking all of those in my description below for anybody who is interested in them. So definitely show Cass a lot of love so that she'll let me come out next year and film another update on her houseplant collection. Now, if you're new, welcome. My name's Ashley. I am a crazy plant lady and proud, as you can see. And if you'd like to see future episodes in your newsfeed, you can subscribe. And we also have a wonderful community on Instagram. And speaking of that, Cass is on Instagram. So if you have any questions as I'm going through this tour, you can reach out to her. I'll include her information here. I'm a huge supporter of people creating an online presence to share their passions. And I get asked all the time, well, how do I get started? I feel overwhelmed. I don't even know how to get started or what to do. So I'm really excited to share our sponsor for this houseplant tour episode, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring and creative classes. It's a place to get inspired, learn new skills, and put them to work in impactful ways alongside a supportive community of like-minded creatives and teachers. I have been a huge fan of Skillshare for years. Much of my knowledge about houseplants and social media comes from classes that I've taken from Skillshare. I recently completed Lily Singh's class, Social Media Success, Video Storytelling on YouTube and Beyond. I really appreciated how she emphasizes finding your authentic voice and balancing humor and sincerity to really connect with your audience. This class also included tips on writing, shooting, and editing your work. Everyone has value and a unique perspective, so if you're interested in sharing your passions on social media, the classes on Skillshare are a great place to start. Want to unlock your creativity and start something new? The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I'm so excited to share Cass's amazing houseplant tour with all of you. Don't forget to show her all the love in the comments below.
I think I have maxed out my cabinet amount of cabinets I can have at this time. Most of them, of course, are my IKEA cabinets. I think most of these I had last time. I got this idea recently where I put these guys in here with, these have no holes. So as I water, because over the summer, I've had all my anthurium out in the greenhouse, and I have the sprinkler system out there. So they get watered 4 times a day. Well, coming as we're starting to move things.
4 times a day, really? Mm-hmm. Is it just a misting?
Yep, it's just a misting system.
Oh, I bet they love it.
They love it. So it keeps my humidity up, it keeps the temperature down. But now I'm going to have fun transitioning from that for the winter into here. For a while I've been soilless, but it's
all your plants?
Yeah,
pretty much all?
Yeah, they're it's like cocoa coir, perlite, charcoal. I put some earthworm castings in there. And then some slow release fertilizer, but it drains really quickly. Since last time, we have now migrated this to a almost completely anthurium cabinet. There are actually a few Hoyas in here that were in here last time. This is one of my babies, my anthurium king of spades. That's finally getting some size on it.
Wow.
Look at the veins. It's all pink and then shimmery.
Pink. That's beautiful.
I'm in love. And then this one right here is a Bessier by Warrock. So this is going to be a fun one to watch it mature.
So velvety.
Right? And it's going to be so dark. Because, I mean, really, Warrock and Bessier, which actually down here I have the opposite. This is Mama is Warrock and Daddy is Bessier. So that'll be a fun one to kind of compare and see how they do as they grow.
So is each hybrid different?
Yes.
Like...
And
you never really know how it's going to turn out?
You never know. You'll have the same parents, say it's a crystallinum and a forgetii or whatever the hybrid is. Every one of the babies can look a little bit different. So I have a hard time parting with them until they get a little bit bigger, so I know what characteristics I like, which is difficult when I want to sell things because I need to sell them to make some money. but then I don't want to because I want to wait and see how they turn out. But, you know, the struggle is real. This guy's going to be...
Yeah, I was curious what this one is.
So,
is it the same?
No. This one is a blue velvet no ID.
Cool. What Hoya is up here?
This one right here is the Hoya calcata Sumatra. And this baby actually blooms like crazy. And it's got the cutest little fuzzy blooms. That, you can tell actually it just bloomed up there, but they just died off.
Oh yeah, I see it. Little peduncle.
They make such a mess. I'll show you one of my other Hoyas over here. It blooms so much that that guy right there is a pink lemonade by Crystallinum.
I see a little philodendron snuck in back there.
Yes, one of my girlfriends gave that to me recently. That is the philodendron majestic.
Oh.
So she surprised me with that the other day when she came to visit. It's funny because I'm like, oh, I like the strappy boys. Oh, I like the dark velvety boys. Oh, I like them all. I like them all. I really do.
Something to appreciate about all of them.
Right?
Just admiring your plant setup.
Oh, thank you.
I like how you have, oh my gosh, the little guy on that pot. Little gnome guy.
Oh, the little gnome. So this is my Birkin. It's like one of my first plants I ever got. And it's been sitting here for so long. And it just keeps going.
They're so great.
Like,
underestimated. You don't hear people talk about them anymore, really.
you don't. And it was funny because I almost sold it. Somebody was looking for one the other day. And I can't remember. Like, and they were like, hey, will you take like whatever for it? And I was like, no. No, actually, no. It's one of my sexy beasts. I'm so obsessed. I got this at the Airwood show last year. This is the NSC, it's out of NSC. It's FTG, which is the Fairchild Gardens.
Okay.
Not 100% what FTG it is, but Daddy is a red crystal. And I just got pollen off of it. I'm not sure who I'm going to pollinate with it yet, but...
That's exciting.
Right?
You've had some success with that.
I have.
I saw on your Instagram.
It's been really fun. It's been... So my first couple ones that I pollinated, I kind of was like, here, let's take some pollen from you and rub it on you. And then I forgot to write down who baby daddy was. I don't know who baby daddy is, but mama is Bessier for those guys.
They're really looking great.
Thank you. We're trying. We got some nice propagation lights that HLG sent me. They sent them to me for Women's History Month. I got to they sponsored me for Women's History Month for women growers.
That's amazing.
And when I say they're fabulous lights, they're absolutely amazing. It's like, is that a toy? So this is my Clary. And
you can see seeds.
Yep, so we got seeds coming. So I pollinated this with pterodactyl pollen. Clary takes about a year for the seeds.
No kidding.
Yeah, so these take quite a while. I find that researching a lot of the anthurium stuff online, there's just not a lot of information out there. And there's so many new hybrids and everybody does everything differently. So it's just like if you were to go Google, you know, how to care for an anthurium, and then like some of the information you do see and you're like, no, that's not quite how I would do it. So, you know, I'm constantly learning, like I said, with the soil and the light and the watering and trying not to get root rot and trying not to overwater, underwater. Yeah.
I think that's a good lesson for all of us to keep in mind, because I think we're all in the same boat of kind of figuring a lot of this stuff out and feeling sometimes afraid to experiment or worrying about doing something wrong, and it's like we're all figuring it out.
Well, and that's been the nice thing too about having my own seedlings, is that like I can play with them, like what substrate to use, like because some people are like, moss is the best one, this and that. Like I'm using tree fern right now, which is expensive, but so far everything's pretty happy. I don't like using moss because the roots stick to it, and I hate trying to pull it off. And especially if it's going out to the greenhouse, I can't have barely any moss in my soil because then I just get root rot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, look
but
at this.
So this guy, look, we got a new leaf coming.
Is this the dinner plate one? Mm-hmm. Is it Sarah?
This is the dinner plate latifolia.
Latifolia. Okay, that's right.
But we actually, this new leaf is just coming. This will get huge, but look at how thick that stem is. You know that leaf is going to be huge. And then the funny thing is the previous leaf to this one is this one right here. Like, it started just putting them out in the middle, but you can...
Hoyas are funny like that.
Right?
It doesn't necessarily follow the pattern of other plants.
Oh,
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm. I'll put my hand so everyone can see how huge it is.
And it's really funny. So down here you can see like a little spider web.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little resident spider. And when I water, she comes running out and like drinks the water as I spray it in.
Do you know what kind of spider it is?
I have no idea, but she stays there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as she stays put in that little space right there. Because she's like a black spider, not a black widow. I wouldn't say that, and she's not too big, but she stays there. And the way I think, like, you're gonna eat any bad bugs. So go ahead. This is my newest plant. I just got this from a girl the other day, but it's wavy.
I noticed that. It's beautiful.
I'm pretty sure I have this hybrid already. We think it's like a crystal mag. When people ask about anthuriums, the claries, highly recommend if you're just getting into anthurium. They deal with the ambient temperatures way better than they do the humidity and the heat. So highly recommend that if people are first getting it. Don't jump in like me and get a Warrock. They're drama. Start with like a clary, a crystal, or a mag.
Gosh, look how silvery.
Red Crystal by Dark Velvet No ID. Ace of Spades by Tim Anderson Black. And I love, it's got nice dark leaves. This guy right here needs a new home. That's my Florida. I have slowly been paring down and getting rid of some of my philodendrons to make room for all my anthurium. And some of...
What's that one that's climbing up the wall?
That's the Baltic Blue.
Oh, wow.
it's kind of just got a mind of its own.
I love it.
It started climbing and I'm like, all right, let's see what you do. I want to see if it'll go, all the way up. For those into anthurium and know of the splendidum is a super dramatic, 100% humidity, don't blow air on it. Well, this one right here is the Forgetii by Splendidum. So you get like the bulleted leaves, but not as traumatic. It's the wings, which that's what John calls it, times stalk block. So I'm hoping, I was thinking wings meant wide sinus, but I could be wrong because they're pretty close sinus. But this new leaf is pretty cute with the little red. This is a Moronense by Bessier. And that new leaf I think is
stunning.
Yes, and it's gonna be nice and dark. I know when I bring my friends over that aren't into plants, they just see green leaves. And I'm like, no, look, this one's got pink right here. This one's got silver right here. And look, this one's ruffly. I'm like, these are my Hoyas that bloom, obviously, like crazy, but they're so messy. So messy. Like, we got new blooms going here and here and here and there. Like,
they must like the grow light too.
They love the grow light, and because I have the same one over there hanging by the door, it's never bloomed. But up here, and this is just one of those cheap Lowe's Hoyas. So look at how cute this is.
That's what I was just
Oh my god, I love it. It's from Blushies. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
And then one of my girlfriends makes leaf skeletons, and that's one of my leaves that I'd given her. So she made a skeleton from it.
Fabulous.
And monkey tail cactus.
I love that a lot.
So I just got this. So I think last time, I can't remember what I had in it, but I'd been wanting monkey tail. So I just got them. So I'm like excited for them to be like long dreads. I got this as a trade. I traded a cutting of a Hoya. I think maybe 2 Hoyas. But it was like, when I got it, it was like, I think those 2 leaves. So this is one of my pride and joys. So I took my Mills bow that used to be sitting over there last time you were here and turned it into my own little terrarium. So with grow lights and this thing, because it's so up and down, I added these because all my plants were starting to grow to the outside, and then in the middle was looking sparse, so I mounted these to the middle.
You always have such creative ways of doing these types of things.
But
it's really impressive.
The nice thing here, so I have, some of the Hoyas are kind of permanent residents, but the Anthurium, I've made it so that it's got a little pot on there, and then you just slide everything down into it because everything kind of grows so happily in here. One of the big things I've learned in making these is when you're doing the spray foam, stick the moss to it while the spray foam's wet, and then it holds onto the moss. Otherwise, you have to like shave down the top layer after the spray foam hardens, and then you got to put like some kind of glue, and then you got to like glue it to it. I found if you just stick the moss on there while it's still wet, then you skip
That's such a good idea.
hours worth of work.
Wow.
Like my clemensorium.
Yeah, so if you
is-
don't mind, I'm very curious what all these plants are because I see some that I don't recognize.
Awesome. So we got Crassipetola Splash, which this guy actually is planted over here, and he's coming. Yeah, he's quite happy. He's getting big. And then this is the Wilbur Graves, and then this is like the Bella
Looks like it.
something. But yeah, these guys. This is one of my favorites. My variegated
Beautiful.
Viridifolium.
Okay.
And then this is a baby Viridifolium, not variegated. I have a few of these. I grew these from seed. Let's see. What is this? Is a Forgetti Eye cross. Oh no, it's not. This is a Crystal Mag by Zara Michelle. I guess the mag is doing that. And that new leaf. Ooh, let's pull you out. It's nice, fresh. Look at that.
So beautiful. What is this?
This is a Cissus Amazonica.
Okay.
And it starts way down here. And this little pot right there, and it comes up and it goes up this way. And it's a very, I had to cut it recently because we're getting a little unruly.
Wow,
So,
very top.
yeah. I got that and I was like, oh, I'll just get it for some. It
Yeah,
takes
it's all
over.
here. It's a happy plant. It's
It-
all here.
It definitely, it just keeps going.
Well, this is beautiful.
We got another the Hoya. Actually, when you came over last time, this was a 1-leaf cutting.
Oh,
And
wow.
now it's look at it.
You have a lot of new growth from last year.
Right? Look at all that. It's happy. But if there's anybody local who wants them, I will build them. But please know you're talking about a lot of money. Because I think my building cost just for materials for this was about $800. My Spirit of Sanctity that
Oh my
I
gosh.
got for my birthday.
I can't believe you have one
I'm
of
so
these.
excited.
That's amazing.
I had picked up one at IAS last year from one of my friends, and his has grown so much. And so I was like, okay, it's such an easy grower. And so I decided for my birthday this year that that's what I wanted. So I got myself.
Are they a little easier to come by now?
They are, and they're way cheaper. I'm trying to remember. I think I spent $200 or $300 on this one. So the Spirit of Sanctity, most people know it is. I think there's like one left in the wild that is known. So they're super endangered, but they got them in tissue culture now, and so between tissue culture and seed, they're becoming more available, and then people will hopefully get those instead of going out and trying to get anything that's been poached out of the wild, especially because it's so rare.
So I'm very curious about all these big leaves I see over here.
This is my Billy, who has gotten
Look at that.
ginormous.
Okay.
They love these lights, so they have been growing fantastically. And then we have a enormous, this is the Florida Ghost. So when the leaves come out, they come out very minty.
Did you grow them to be this size?
So this one of my girlfriends that's super into Hoyas, it got too big for her. So I traded her a Hoya for it. This is another one that I got myself for my birthday.
That's beautiful.
This is Regal AFF.
This is a cool one here.
Ambient, and it's super happy. Like, this is its newest leaf.
I love the shape of the leaves. It's so different.
Right?
And it's kind of blue silver.
And it's like, yeah,
Beautiful.
it's just, and it grows up almost like a philodendron. So no, this is the Red Beauty. Like, look at that.
Look at that new leaf.
Look at how dark it is.
Oh, wow.
And these actually stay dark.
What is this one called again?
This one's a Red Beauty.
Red Beauty.
So this is its last leaf, and you can tell it's still pretty dark than the one before. And then you can just, you know, and then the older they are, the more green they go. And then we have Mexicanum.
Love this plant.
Who he needs a pole extender soon. So it's funny because I don't really do a lot of philodendrons these days, but the ones I do big.
Mm-hmm.
So just like
they're thriving.
I had just gotten this when you came last time. This was like sitting over there. This is my Florida Bronze, and here actually you can see why. This is how that leaf color comes out.
Was this on the coffee table?
It was.
Oh wow, it looks so, it's grown so much.
But you can see like the bronzy, it comes out and like that, and you can, yeah. It has grown a ton. Then we got our little whale fin.
Yeah.
And then this is the Jose by Tenu, who just keeps on going. And then my Florida Beauty.
So beautiful.
So the other day, so my stake goes to here, and it was hitting the ceiling, but my stake only goes to here, and it like,
oh.
So we chopped it. Oopsie. Some fun ones. These guys have actually been inside all, this top shelf has been inside all summer, so I haven't had to acclimate them. This is a Tazula Ace of Spades by Dark Crystal. So it's a nice dark one. Windy Aubrey True Bessier. So Mama is an actual True Bessier, which you don't really see a lot of True Bessier. Most Bessiers these days are the Bessier AFF. And then by Magnificum. So that's going to be a fun one. And then I think that's just one of my Blue Velvet hybrids. And then I got some babies down there. And then one of my newest babies is this one over here, my Esqueleto.
Beautiful.
I'm excited. This is,
So
I got
many
this.
wish list plants here.
Look at that new leaf.
Gorgeous.
It recently got moved in from the greenhouse, but I think it'll do good in here.
Yeah.
So I hope. Monstera seem to do pretty good in ambient. But about 2 weeks ago, I was up watering and realized my plants that were up there, that have been up there for years, had mealy bugs really bad. So I lost all of them, and I just recently took some of my hanging plants that I had outside and brought them in. So hopefully we survive.
I'm so sorry.
You know,
it's a tough one.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know, you see a lot of people who get upset because their plant, you know, has bugs on it or whatever. It's really, I think everybody gets them. And it's just, you know, you got to try to manage them any way you can. So this is Alocasia Alley. I try to keep most of my alocasias separate from everything because we know spider mites and alocasias. My Frydek, so this guy last year at the end of last summer had spider mites so bad, so I chopped it off completely, chopped every leaf off, put it under the shelf in the greenhouse all winter. And if you neglect them, they will thrive.
Clearly.
If you try to baby them, no. And then I have a dragon scale, a silver dragon scale, a cupria, a Jacqueline, Sarian, Stingray, Frydek, and then
wow, look at that stingray.
isn't it like
That's really cool.
Hi, babes. Hi, guys.
Oh my goodness,
Wake
little
up,
chickies.
huh? Where is Thunder and Marshmallow? Oh, there's Thunder.
Hey, Thunder.
And then Marshmallow. You'll know Marshmallow when you see her. Nope, that's not Marshmallow. But she'll come out soon. She might be in laying. Thunder's a sweet one. You can actually like...
They're good with the chickens, the doggos.
It took time.
It did?
Thunder and Marshmallow like to be a pet. The others, not so much.
Aww.
Huh. Yeah. Sweet dang.
I love the little shirts.
Yeah. So this is currently my Hoya greenhouse.
Okay.
It is a little naked right now because I'm cutting back on my Hoyas to make room for the anthurium this winter. I got this greenhouse, and you'll come in here and you'll see why I don't have anthurium in here.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot. But the Hoyas love it. I get a lot of blooms. And this also has a misting system.
Ooh. Oh yeah. They've gotta love that.
Yup. That helps cool it down as well. Keeps our humidity up. Keeps almost everything watered. I still have to come in and touch water, you know, things that don't get a whole bunch. But I keep a shade cloth on it year round.
Okay.
In the winter, I bubble wrap it. I literally buy rolls of bubble wrap.
Really?
And then bubble wrap it to help hold the heat in.
Okay.
And then I have a small greenhouse heater. And last year, I think I kept it between 72 and 74. I think this year I'm going to aim for more like 68 to 70.
Are you getting some mist ready? Does it feel nice in there? So what are you thinking about doing?
So one of my grand ideas after seeing somebody else's greenhouse is when I build my hard structure over here,
Okay.
take this and put it on the front of it, and then have this be like the entryway into the front, so I'd still have the greenhouse. Because I feel like this just gets a little bit neglected now that I got the big one.
Mm-hmm.
But if I move this all over there and made it one big one.
Nice. So this was your first one. This
Yes.
is the one you won?
No, this is the one, I got this one at Costco.
Okay.
It's actually, when I was researching greenhouses, this is one of the best price ones for how sturdy. I think it was like $1,200, $1,300.
Okay.
And it was pretty easy to put together, me and a couple friends. Well, my friends did most of it because at the time I was still struggling with my back pain, but we got it up in like a day. This year I did some gardening, which is not my area of expertise, but I saw this on Instagram as well, where you get the cattle panels, and then you can see in here I got watermelons, and I think I have a cantaloupe.
I love this type of gardening, and I don't have time to do it because of all my houseplants, but I think you just inspired me to do this next year.
It's actually relatively easy. As long as you water it.
Do you have an irrigation
I
system, like
don't.
a sprinkler, or do you come out here and water
I just
it?
come out and water.
How often do you have to water? I saw that. They love it.
So it just depends on, you know, we have weeks where it's raining every day and I don't have to touch it.
Sure.
Tomatoes are thirsty.
Yeah.
They like to be watered every single day. And then I try to water every day.
Can I taste one of your little tomatoes?
Absolutely.
That's one of my favorite foods of all time. It's just like
Yes, I
a
can
cherry
send you
tomato.
home.
Oh my gosh,
Is it
that's
good?
so good. Ooh.
But we got a cissus discolor that I've never been able to successfully grow inside, but loves it out here.
It does. Look at that.
My Paraiso Verde that we had kind of talked about last time, how I'd never been able to get color. I got like my first color finally. But that new leaf, it only took 2 years.
And it could just be the plant. You
Yeah,
know,
it
sometimes
could be.
it just,
It's-
and not that type of plant, just that plant in specific.
This is the one that only plant I've ever spent, I think, over $200 on. And so I have not given up on it. I'm like, look, it's been chopped a million times.
I mean, it looks super healthy and happy.
So I brought it out here, and it was another one that the stake wasn't big enough, and so it broke. So I have like 2 cuttings in there. Look at this guy right here. Gorgeous. Jack, watch out.
Oh, Jack's my buddy.
He's like, I'm just gonna stand in front of you. So I think it likes the summer.
My goodness. What is this one?
This is a Plow Money Eye. This is the one I got from Cactus Club. My husband got for my birthday. And then look at all the flowers.
That's a happy plant.
And I keep hoping that the bugs will do their job and pollinate it. So I just let them be. I'm like, you know, hopefully.
Oh my gosh.
There's Marshmallow.
Hi, Marshmallow. You're
Here,
so
Marshmallow.
cute.
Here. You can say hi. She's dirty. She needs a bath.
What kind of chicken is
She's a
this?
silky. You gotta feel her.
Okay. She's so soft.
Right? And I love it that it's her and Thunder that hang out most of the time, and then the other 3 hang out. What? Colocasia, Alocasia, Caladium mix in here. My McDowell is coming back to life.
Aww.
It's quite happy out here.
Look at it. Is it like its pot?
So yes, I just repotted it into this, and we're already at the end. So I'm eventually probably gonna have to get a bigger one. Another tie. Another Epi. Micans. And then my happy place.
Ooh, wow.
Right?
That's beautiful. I can't wait to go in there and explore. What is this one?
This is a tie. Oh, and then that's an Epi marble.
Okay. I haven't seen that one before.
And it's because you'll see in here my other Epi loves the plank so much. So I threw it in here and it's starting to, well, yeah, you can already see it's attaching. And when it has something to attach and grow on, they get huge.
So you're seeing success with the planks.
This guy right here, I don't really collect aglaonemas, but it's the Pictum tricolor, and it reminds me of my Army uniform when I first joined the Army. I tried to pollinate, and I might have, actually. Are those seeds? So it had another inflow.
Girl, those are seeds.
I think I just realized this. I'm like, I went, because it had 2 inflows, and so I took the pollen and tried.
Those look like seeds to me.
Yes. Here's one of my favorites that I'm ready for it to get big, but it keeps doing offsets. This is the King of Spades by Forgetty Eye. Look at that new leaf. It's getting a little red.
Yeah. So velvety.
So
too.
velvety. This one, super velvety. We've been in a struggle, but look at how dark.
What kind is that?
This is a Pap by BVEP, the Black Velvet Eastern Panama. Right, look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this guy.
Oh.
Look at how silver it is. Like, so I got this as like a 3-leaf cutting, and I had it in my cabinet, and it started, like the runners started growing in. So I took it out, and when I did it, I chopped it into like 3, and now it's like a bush. So it's so bizarre because every leaf is absolutely different.
I like that. It's so unique. Do you find they like this? Because I've seen people make their own moss pools with like mesh wire. I actually purchased one that's, I think, like plastic or something.
So
Or would you go with planks more?
I personally am more of a fan of like the planks and stuff because I cannot keep the moss moist. And I got this as just like a couple leaf cutting, and it's been thriving. And then look at this guy.
What is that?
This is a variegated domesticum.
Ooh,
We have had
so beautiful.
so many, like, this guy reverts really easily. This is the variegated bipinfolium. This is a cutting from a variegated Billy that I keep hoping, because I got it for like $10.
That's a steal. Anyways, just on a bill
Right?
alone.
Wow.
Wow.
But I'm like, come on, variegate.
Yeah.
But you know. And then this is a mint Burl Marks. So it's a little bit different. I like the coloring in it. It's almost like that scrambled eggs or for the syngoniums. And you'll see I have lots of cuttings. So I've finally started cutting some of my anthurium, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of doing because I like them huge. But every now and then if I'm repotting and I have a whole bunch of chunk,
Just like looking around and
right?
I'm trying to concentrate on what you're saying, but I'm so distracted by all of the like.
This is the Warrock that was in my cabinet last time you came. We have, this is its new leaf that it's putting out right now.
Oh, it loves it out here, huh?
And it's giving me an inflow.
So are you doing something to get them to
Just
flower or anything? A type of fertilizer or?
So out inside my house every week I water with, I use silica. Have you used silica at all?
No.
So silica, you put it in the water, give it about 30 minutes and it binds to the water molecules. Then when you put your fertilizer or nutrients in there, it binds to that. So it like, one, it helps, I'm pretty sure this is how it works. It helps with the uptake with the plant of taking the nutrients and kind of keeps it throughout the water instead of, you know, your fertilizer might settle.
Okay.
So, I mean, I still mix it up, but it helps the plants take in the nutrients. But out here, it has the misting system. And so like once a month, I'll come out and kind of spray it with something, whether it's I have fish shit, which is literally called fish shit, which actually I like that.
Ever.
Well, and I like the fish shit because it doesn't stink. Like, if you get the actual fish fertilizer, it smells like really horrible, but the fish shit doesn't, and you can't over fertilize with it. It's actually a nutrient and not a fertilizer.
Okay.
So I use that a lot, and then I use the Dynagrow, and then Calamag. That's, I just kind of, whatever I'm feeling.
And I think you mentioned too, you put like worm castings.
Yes,
in your
I put worm
soil.
castings, and then I got Osmocote as well out here. I mix it into my soil mix. So yeah, the squammy has, it hit the top of its pole, and then I tied it to the side of the greenhouse. And oh look, we're flowering.
Oh,
It looks almost like a bird beak.
it does, doesn't it?
But yeah, this is the squammy that we met at Malone's over. And then this is a philodendron Sharonii, something like that. And it's coming from that little pot. It's got some spider webs, but then it's kind of come up here, and then I've just tied it to this. You know, we just make it work.
It's the perfect spot for it.
Right? And then my Effie, who is, so when I say it's attached, like, look at, like, there's no getting that off of there. And then this guy, I can't remember what he's called. I think he's a plesamum.
And plesamum, that's it. Yeah, I have one of those.
But,
They're thirsty.
and so he's happy out here.
Yeah, he
because
likes it.
he really didn't do too much for a long time. And then when we moved out here, he got super happy.
It's incredible how much bigger the leaves get once they attach.
Absolutely. Like night and day. Back here, my crystallinum is working on, here's its first inflow of seeds right here. It gave me 287 seeds on the first inflow.
Wow.
But in all three inflows, self-pollinated. I didn't even pay attention.
No
And then like
kidding.
one day I looked back here and was like, wait, those are all pollinated. And then, so this is the berry. Are you able to see that? And then when you do that, there's your seeds.
Oh my goodness.
So that one berry gave me 2 seeds. But I put the bags over them to catch any seeds that may fall.
What is this one? Is this another?
A Warqueenum? Yes. A little beat up, but we got new growth coming here. It just gave an inflow, and so it put a lot of work into that. This is another Warrock. It was an import, and it did not import well. So we are just giving it time.
What is this philodendron behind your head?
This is the Ring of Fire.
It's beautiful.
I just recently repotted it because I had it in a tiny pot and it had been outside and it was just, okay, it's time. And then I was like, you know, it might be kind of fun to hang it up. Somebody I follow on Instagram has a caramel marble that they have hung up, and I was like, oh.
And that's what I thought this one might be.
This is another one of my favorites.
Yes.
This is the Pallidiforum. And here's this, so it's got 2 plants in here. This is one of its new leaves. So this will get quite a bit bigger still. So.
What is, gosh, look how long that leaf is. My goodness.
And then we got a big old Forgetii back there. We got a big old Bessier back there.
What's in the corner?
This one?
Yeah.
That's a Bessier.
That is? Okay, that's a lot of your hybrids.
Yep. And then this is a Selby Silver.
Beautiful.
And then this is a Silver Blush.
I love those silver blushes. I think they're so...
And this guy right down here, look at these leaves.
Ooh, I have a baby one of these.
The Worswecki.
Yeah, the Oreo ones.
I didn't know I thought I needed one and I got one and got rid of it twice. And then I saw a mature one last year when I was at the Aeroid show.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a new one.
The leaves are, it's some of the most beautiful philodendron
Right?
leaves.
They're crazy.
They really are. Is this a chia pence down here?
Yes. So I have a
Variegated?
non-variegated and a variegated together.
I've never seen a variegated chia pence before.
It's a very, very slow grower.
Yeah, I love the regular one.
Once again, this is another one I didn't know I needed till I saw a mature form. One of my friends has one that its leaves are that big.
They get really big, huh?
Yep, if they get to climb up something, they are super happy. I think this is a Quer Morenci, and then this is the Anthurium cuticans. I could be pronouncing these
Lovely.
completely wrong. This is a Red Mag by Pap. I got this at Perfect Choice last year when I went for the Aeroid show, and it's got offsets like crazy. Look at that leaf.
I was just admiring this.
This is Pap by Lux.
Stunning.
I love it. And then this is a Pink Lemonade by Lux, which is kind of starting to get a little bit of ripples. And we got some offshoots. This is one that I can't wait for it to get big. It didn't do so well in the house, so it's finally starting to grow. I got this at the Aeroid show last year. It is a Delta Dawn by Bebop. So it's kind of like one of the waxier leaves combined with dark velvety. Obviously lots of babies. Oh, this guy's a stunner too. This guy.
Oh yeah, my goodness.
Oh, and then look at the shimmer on this guy. This I believe is the pink. This is a Pappy Crystal Mag.
Okay.
But its leaves come out absolutely amazing. And then a Regal. Ooh. And then this is the Splendid.
I love my Splendid.
It's so happy out here.
Yeah, I've struggled with my melanochrysums, but I really like my Splendid.
Well, Melano, I think, needs this kind of atmosphere. When I had my Melano inside, I couldn't get beyond mican-sized leaves.
Yeah.
And out here, it's like, hey, I'm happy.
Taking off.
I got this guy as a Forgetii, but I'm pretty sure he's crossed with something. Look at that leaf shape. Ooh. How fun. It's like a teardrop.
Beautiful.
I love it.
What do you do for pest management?
So out here I have, if I see anything, so like my Fridex out there, because I saw something on it, I use this, and then I actually have, imagine this, spiders and praying mantises that have just joined me out here, so they, and ants, and I know ants are horrible, but especially on my Hoya greenhouse, because the Hoya blooms, they love the nectar, they will defend that plant like crazy.
That's cool.
So kind of the natural, and then if needed, I'll spray them. My biggest issue out here has been slugs, and caterpillars. I think I had a few caterpillars in here because I've rescued some butterflies that keep getting. I'm like, where'd you come from? But yeah, that's been my biggest thing out here. So when I build a hard structure, I want to take it all the way to the end here do like some double doors maybe here.
That sounds great.
Put that other greenhouse kind of in front so then have a walkway into it. And hopefully have a nice big one that, you know,
This is
covered
amazing.
area.
Thank you so much for
you.
letting me come out today and sharing all of your beautiful plants.
Thank you for coming. It was great to see you
Yeah.
again.
And how can everyone find your Instagram? It's at
Plant Addicted Cass. Plant Addicted _ Cass, but either will work. But yeah, come follow me. I'm on there every day. I pretty much post a reel and at least one photo every day. I love the community on Instagram. Like, everybody is fantastic, and I've met so many people. Between that and then every time I go somewhere, like last year in Miami, oh, I saw you on Ashley's YouTube channel. I was like, one of the guys that I follow that lives in England saw it, and I was like, look at around the world.
we have a really great international community.
It's sorry, you're
I'm
hitting
sorry.
the chicken water.
Oh no.
But
So can we pre-plan for me to come out next year and see how all your
Absolutely.
plants are doing?
absolutely, and hopefully we can do a barn raising, a greenhouse raising party, and
Definitely.
replace this. Like I said, I'm very thankful that I won this. It's fantastic for this year, but I need a 4-season greenhouse.
All right.
I need to be able to move in.
Gotta make that happen.
How incredible was that? I couldn't believe all of her beautiful anthuriums. I mean, her collection is beyond amazing, and she's just such a great person. I had a blast. So a huge thank you to her again, and don't forget to leave your comments below, making sure to share all of the love with Cass for letting me come out and share her houseplant collection with all of you. If you'd like to see future videos in your newsfeed, make sure to subscribe. I'll be working on my own houseplant tour in the upcoming months for all of you, which I'm excited to share. And don't forget our wonderful community on Instagram as well. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. You'll definitely be seeing me soon. Bye.